We on or off?
Oh, that's on.
Okay. We're doing pre-work.
Right.
All right.
Chris made some notes.
You need to green light me when I can speak freely, and
Once you hear the beep.
No.
Because sometimes you don't hear the beep.
When I hear the beep, is this going to be our intro?
I mean,
no?
it can.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Chris. Hey, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Man, I'm still in pre-production over here.
Well,
But that's all right.
sorry about that.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I like Christmas. How about you?
Oh, man. I love Christmas. I have to say that Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday because you have all the food and all the family and stuff. At least I do. All the food and all the family of Christmas without the gift-giving pressure.
That's a really good point.
So you just get to hang out instead of like, oh, what so-and-so get me? Or did I get them something to match what they get? You know, you don't have all that pressure. So I just like, let's come eat. Let's all hang out together and let's just be. I like Thanksgiving. I love Christmas, but
I do. I like the spirit and meaning of Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most. I think in recent years I've taken the pressure off myself on the gift giving. I just kind of stopped. I mean, it's the kids, right? Grandkids, absolutely go broke doing that. We've got, because all of our children are grown, like we have a tradition that we do. That I'll talk about because that's what the episode's about. So I'm not going to get ahead of myself this time. This is the intro.
Yep, it is the intro.
But
I see you're wearing your festive attire.
Christmas is a formal event in my household. I'm kidding, it's not. But who can pass up a jacket? I don't know how well we show up on camera, but this is a fantastic shirt. And I went with the formal jacket, sport coat.
Nice.
So,
I went with my award-winning ugly sweater winner
nice
contest ugly sweater. So I found this at Goodwill about 15 years ago.
Oh, that long?
It's a woman's sweater because that was all they had because everybody, I guess, rated Goodwill for ugly sweater contest at the time that I went. So this was all that they had, and it doesn't fit. The buttons are on the wrong side because it's a woman's. And I did bust one of the buttons off. I had it buttoned, and I busted one of the buttons off because I took a deep breath.
Well, it kind of looks like a crop top, too. I mean,
let me stand up. Let me stand up.
Yeah. I mean, if you cut the sleeves off as a vest, dude, that works. I mean, it works as a sweater, but how many times has this won you an ugly sweater contest?
Twice.
The only time I've ever won an ugly sweater contest was the one time I went to Goodwill and all that was left was women's sweaters, and it was a green one.
I see a theme.
Fit really, really tight and awkwardly, and I won.
I think we're coming up with the recipe to win ugly sweater contest. It's women's sweaters from Goodwill.
I didn't think about that, but that's a really good point.
Yep.
I like that you've kept that for 15 years. I think I threw mine away as quickly as I got it. But
it's the only one I've got, and I wear it to, school. We would have ugly sweater contests, and here I am
now. I go for I've worn the jacket to a couple of events this holiday season.
I mean,
already.
You could get away with that at a corporate event because it's like
I have couple of them.
And I see why.
It's I don't usually do the double dip holiday. Usually the shirt is just kind of a solid color.
I think if you had
match
a red shirt under that, then you could.
I went with blue last time I wore it, but blue, red. If you can find like this maroon wine color, whatever. I'm not sure what color it is, but there's also a little black in there, so it can all work.
Well,
I don't know why Santa Claus looks like it almost looks more like a burglar mask.
Gangsta Claus.
Like I don't want to be noticed.
Right.
But, it's good. Dude, I'm excited about this episode.
Yes,
we're going to talk about Christmas memories and traditions.
Yeah, we did toys already. So
we did. Well, we did our favorite Christmas toy memory.
Right.
I'll go into what I've got here in front of me a little bit because that's a Christmas memory.
That is
for me.
All right, we're going to get into the intro. Thanks for showing up. Christmas is in a couple days, so Hope you all enjoy it and have a good time with your family. But we're going to jump into it.
Welcome.
Hit the intro.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Chris.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry
Again,
Christmas.
In case we didn't
again.
express that enough
Yep.
in this holiday attire. Only downfall to Christmas, the weather. I'm not a fan
Yeah.
of winter.
Yep. So we're filming this obviously before Christmas, and the weather this weekend is supposed to be like cold,
Yeah.
like 11 cold.
I've, the last 2 years, we've been very fortunate to either be traveling at Christmas
Yeah.
or just before Christmas. So, December and then getting out of Tennessee to places much, much warmer. But
True.
for the first time ever last year, we actually traveled, we kind of did a empty nest celebration, and we traveled the whole week of Christmas into the new year.
Oh, wow.
I took it like a 2 weeks to a cruise. Not a huge fan, surprisingly, of cruise ship cruises. My favorite part was just looking out off the deck, looking at the water.
See, I really enjoy cruise ship cruises.
It's I was surprised I did not like that more, but I did sleep really good. Bonus, that was good.
And you eat really well, too.
But I was really critical, because I've got apps and things that show me worldwide ship locations and stuff.
Right.
That's the stuff that I nerd out on. But I've also got navigation apps that I use if we're doing personal stuff. And I was the whole time, every other day, I'm I don't know why we're on this course doing this thing.
Well, it's because
why do we go this way?
I'll tell you why. I know a little bit about that.
Yeah.
It's because they have to be at a port at a certain time.
Yeah. Oh,
And
it all
so-
makes sense.
And, they can't just putt through, so they kind of got to
well, and then
go around about. And then there are other ships.
There's shipping lanes for a reason.
Right.
Paying attention, especially you get into the Caribbean, you've got some countries that you can't be near or
Right.
should avoid.
And you got certain areas where things go down.
Yeah.
And
No, I totally get it. I just,
so
I'm very opinionated, honestly.
that's in your wheelhouse. So you have every right to be.
I'm quite
critical.
Yeah, it was
That's
interesting.
all right.
But I loved being on the water, but I would have loved being I would have loved being in control. But anyway, so yeah, last Christmas we were definitely warmer. The year before, right before Christmas, we traveled and it was warmer. But yeah, so this year sounds like we're going to pay for it, but it's all good.
It's all good. Hey, I did a change to the set a little bit before
Timer.
you got here. Yeah, set the timer. Not that really means anything to us because the last few episodes have been right at an hour and we're trying to keep them about 40 minutes. So one change I made, I'm going more just for the visual aesthetics. This cable that connects to the bottom of the mic turned the other way, so the cable came out and then doubled back.
Yes.
Apparently, had I known this before, I would have done it. There's 3 screws on here where you can unscrew it and flip it 180 degrees, so now it just goes straight back in like it should.
Is that an adjustment you made to mine as well?
I did.
Very nice. Thank you.
It
looks good. Hopefully it's good on camera too.
Yeah, instead of having this big old loop out on each microphone.
I sometimes still struggle with having this in front of me, and because I do the self-critique. I go back and look at these and it's making more eye contact with the camera.
Right.
But then
Now,
I
that's
look at
one thing
other.
I got to do better.
Yeah, well, it's you're talking, right?
Right, so I look at you.
Same. I do notice on other podcasts, they have the same problem,
Yeah.
especially if there's a guest. And
Well, they're talking to the guest. That's
yeah.
the point of the guest being there is to talk to them.
I've been thinking about that too lately. It'll be interesting when we have a guest and
Yep.
kind of how will our interview skills be.
Right. I have a mic for them, but I don't have the cables to hook up to our very basic system. So
we need an upgrade.
We'll have to at least buy like a splitter cable, because it's already a splitter cable with these two. So I'll have to add a third split into the split. I don't know. It's
safe.
Technical stuff.
Yeah. We'll cover that in our annual planning meeting.
We have those? Maybe we'll
tell them that.
Should have a stockholders meeting.
Yeah. What are we going to talk about today? Not stockholders.
Not stockholders. So we're going to talk about Christmas memories and traditions, things that really stuck out to you at Christmas time, especially as, Gen Xer. I think pretty much all of mine come from the 80s. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of the memories do. I mean, obviously there's traditions as adults that we've carried on.
Yes, and I'll mention some of those too. But
in that too. But yeah, I mean, I thought it'd be cool to talk about, what are some of the things that we remember that maybe we don't do anymore. Some of the things that have been new as we each have families, because
new traditions that you start.
Once you get married, you learn new traditions from your spouse.
Yeah,
and their
or
family.
You kind of figure out like, I didn't really like the way that my family did this. You didn't really like this. Let's come up with our own.
Yeah.
So,
and then sometimes it changes with age. Like I was saying in the intro, I've just kind of taken that pressure of gift giving off myself, and it feels good. But I also, I don't. We're also at the point where if there's something I really need or want, I'm blessed enough to get it.
Right.
And it's even better because there's not a whole lot of stuff that I really want or need anymore. Just because there's not a lot of stuff I want or need.
Right.
But yeah, so to me, it's become more about the time. Food, I think, is good. But yeah, the time, the conversation, and really just, I think in the spirit of the season of the holiday, being thankful and just spending time with people you care about.
Absolutely.
So that's a good
So
thing.
my brothers and I, this is one new tradition, is my brothers and I decided, 15, 20 years ago that we were all grown-ups now and we didn't need to get each other presents.
Yeah.
So we don't.
That's good.
And I'm fine with it. But, every now and then, one of them will be like, well, I know we're not doing it, and then they'll get us something. So this year, I got you those mugs.
Nice. I saw a picture of those. Those are very nice.
They are. Something about custom Yeti mugs.
Good quality. They look good. Everybody knows what Yeti is. So
yep.
It's good.
And it's something that's not like, most of the time, it's not just going to find its way to the back of a drawer and be forgotten about.
I like decorating is still cool. Not to the extreme I remember as a kid. Like as a kid, it was like inside, outside. We do.
You still do all the houses?
You know what? For the first time in 5 years, we put those up this year.
Okay.
Not
I remember
quite all of them.
At your South Carolina house, you had that little area up there,
and that was a great space for something like that. We don't have that much room now. We have these 3 bookshelves. And so we did the top of those, and that was fun. It just the 2 of us were putting it up. It looks really nice. We've got our Christmas tree, which over the last couple of years we've kind of given the kids all the ornaments that they made and stuff growing up to put on their trees. And so the tree now has things that are like kind of us as a couple.
That's cool.
So this is kind of the empty nester side of things.
Right.
And then we have a grandkid tree where every year each grandkid gets a new ornament, and it's like a little tiny tree. It goes by the fireplace, and so we decorate that. But yeah, I've never been one to want to do outside. I've tried that a couple times, and it's just like
so.
Nah.
I don't want to do outside, or haven't wanted to do outside because we sit far back off the road for a reason.
Yeah.
Who
you put it up for?
We have no trespassing signs.
Yeah.
Survivors will be shot again. Signs that
very welcoming.
Right, for a reason.
Which is ironic because you guys are very welcoming.
We are. We try to be. And we have events here, that kind of thing. But I feel like if I put up lights and stuff outside, people might go, "What is that through the trees back there?"
Let me go take a look at it.
No, you shouldn't. Come take a look at it. But I kind of got the itch to do that this year, but haven't done anything about it. And I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you're a couple years away from having some help, maybe too.
Yes.
So
yes,
could be that. I like. I do like the houses. Those are cool, kind of unique. But yes, between our moves and just different circumstances, we went through about a 5-year period where we didn't do those. And now with the space, it was cool to get all that out this year. And
I need to put up Christmas Village, or I will not hear the end of it from my brothers.
You should get that out.
But I still got a couple. I still got a couple weeks. So.
You might have one more weekend, and then it's mandatory. But
I'll probably put it up this weekend so that it'll be up, because I don't want to do all that work for it to be up for 4 days.
Yeah, that is true.
I didn't put it up one year because we were only home for 3 days during Christmas.
Yeah.
So we traveled a week before, then we were home for 3 days, and then we traveled the week after.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'm not putting up all that stuff to be home for 3 days.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear the end of it for a while. And I understand, it used to be at my parents' house, and then my parents got to where they couldn't, fool with it, and we had started having Christmas dinner here instead of there. So, it makes sense, and I enjoy putting it up. It's a lot of work, but when I get it all up, the kids are like, "Oh, it's so cool," and
nice.
People come over, it looks nice. It just kind of makes it
I like conversation pieces and things like
festive.
that too. So that for us, that's what the houses are. It sounds like that's what that is for you guys. But yeah, we didn't last year when we were gone the whole time. We didn't very minimal decorating. The one thing, I think the only thing we did was we wrapped. Sometimes we'll take artwork and we'll just wrap it and gift.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and that turns out pretty cool. It changes the look of the house and everything. So, but it's good. But
so I have, speaking of like picture things, I have in a frame. My mom got this Christmas present for me a couple of years ago. In a frame by the dining room table is a newspaper page from December of 1972, where it has "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" was all typed out, and it's got like a Santa Claus or something in a window, that kind of thing. And she's had that ever since my first Christmas.
Oh,
I think my grandmother got it, saved it from her newspaper and gave it to my mom. So she had that frame for me 2 or 3 years ago, and so I hang it up on. It's really cool.
That's cool.
So I really enjoy having that out there. And as far as the ornaments you were talking about, we always, when we do our travels during the year, because we typically go on a few longer trips, we always try to get an ornament from places we go.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we'll take one of those like fine tip Sharpies and write the year or something like that on it. So, it's like we didn't have to do one on the Yellowstone because it was the 150th anniversary. Okay, well, when that was.
Nice.
That was
20, you can look that up.
Right. Right. That's 22. So.
So is that like one a year or just depends on what you
depends
find
on
in your
where
travels?
we go. We always get at least one every year. Sometimes, if we're in some of these national parks that, we may not go to again or may not go to again for a while, we might get 2 or 3 ornaments that year.
Nice.
But we always try to get an ornament from somewhere that we've been so we can go.
That's cool.
You kind of see over the years like, oh, wow. And that started our first year. We were lucky enough to go with her family to Hawaii for our first anniversary. And that was not the reason we went on the trip, but it just happened to coincide with our anniversary. Yeah. And we got an ornament, and the people that we bought it from, wrote the year and all that kind of stuff on it. And we were like, hey, this is cool. We should do this more.
It's a good idea.
Right. So from 2010 on.
So do you guys do live tree or artificial?
We do artificial tree because it's pre-lit. It's LED.
Yeah.
You stack it.
That's a hard deal to beat these days.
stack it,
honestly.
plug it in.
Because the one thing I don't
It's good to go.
enjoy is lighting a tree, like having to put lights on a tree and then take them off.
Right.
I just don't. I don't
Right.
feel the joy at that moment of doing that.
And we have a 9-foot tree, but in that room up there, with 24-foot ceiling, it's kind of
Yeah.
like, So
Yeah, because you guys could go pretty
I'm on the hunt for a
Pretty.
12-foot tree that doesn't
Okay.
break the bank.
well. And I live in an older home, so I have 8-foot ceilings. So you go with that very standard 6-foot tree,
Right.
which is good. We've done a mix of live and artificial over the years. I like the smell of live when they come in the house.
Love the smell of it, but man, I remember we used to do live trees some, and I
We
think
talked
about
that.
planting the tree.
Yeah.
I just remember having to water that thing and vacuuming up the needles constantly,
Yeah.
and I just didn't want to do that anymore.
It is. I mean, it comes with its own challenges, but what's the? Let's start with childhood. Like,
Okay.
what's something that stands out as a childhood memory or tradition?
All right. One thing that I always enjoyed, and it's not like super exciting. It just kind of signaled that, it's time to start decorating for Christmas. It's happening. My parents had these candle things that had light bulbs. They were
Yeah.
electric candle, and they didn't flicker or anything cool like that. They had green light bulbs in them,
Okay.
and you just stick them in the windowsill.
Yeah, we had those. They were blue.
Yeah. So I remember, it started when I was old enough to help. I could go put it in the window and plug it in, and then at night, I'd go around and plug them all in so that the light would come
Yeah.
on, and that was just kind of cool seeing those old, like, white plastic had the fake melted
Yeah.
wax going down the
remember
side, and we had 1, 2, 3. I think we had 5 of them because there were 5 windows that faced, 4 windows that faced frontwards, and then one that was on the side. Like if you were looking at my house,
Yeah.
it'd be on the left side,
Okay.
facing that white house
Hmm.
where those
Neighbors lived.
neighbors, those neighbors. They've had great neighbors for the last, I don't know, 25 years. I don't know how long they've lived there, but not when we were growing up.
Right.
They were different.
Yeah. I don't even. It's been a long time since I've seen that type of decoration. Like I don't really see that anymore. I feel like
Right.
that was something that we routinely saw in the. And I don't know if
Everywhere.
that was like a '70s thing, an '80s thing, but
I
Yeah,
think these
I remember-
were from the 70s, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I remember them being old,
Yes.
even as a kid. So
Oh,
they
yeah,
they had to have
absolutely.
been around for a while. But yeah, it was like a 5 or 6, candle looking.
Yeah, we had different ones.
plastic
We had
ones.
some 3 and 5.
I wonder if the color meant different things.
I don't know.
Because now as an adult, I know that there's like blue Christmas services to kind of remember like people who have passed through the year,
Dealing
and
with
things
grief,
like that.
dealing
yeah,
with grief
and so I've
Christmas?
seen
Okay.
I've seen blue candles lit
I
for
don't know.
that, but yeah, I mean you guys had green. I remember blue, but that's cool. So that was like the start. Like you remember that
That was
as,
the
like,
start
it's time to
because
go.
that was one of the easiest decorations to get down, and then you just plug them in. There was no prep other than setting it in the windowsill.
Nice. It's pretty easy though. I do
Yeah.
like that.
I may have to find some of those.
You know what mine was? I have one like that too, but and now I don't see them anywhere, probably for good reason. But there's mistletoe,
Oh yeah,
and growing up there was always a mistletoe going from the living room to the kitchen, and
on
when
that side of the house, like over there.
yeah,
Where
and
the lightning strike was.
yeah, just in the door. And my grandparents had one, but like yeah, it was like the mistletoe. If you go under the mistletoe, you gotta kiss under the mistletoe.
You gotta
kind of
kiss
thing.
somebody.
So it was always like, you pass the aunt that always wants to like kiss on you and stuff. So, you did a little kiss on the cheek. Completely uncomfortable and weird for a kid. But like
But
that
now
was
you
just
can't
the
do
thing.
that. Now you can't do that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is it's probably not something that anybody does anymore for those reasons. If like you can't just, be passing somebody and, reach out and, peck them on the cheek or something. That would.
I might try to find some mistletoe.
All right. I wouldn't know where to look other than trying to find a where does that come from? Is that bush called a mistletoe bush tree?
I actually don't know.
I mean, I've seen things that look like it. I know it's evergreen. They tend to look a little spiky, and they have little red berries, is what I remember. But
I absolutely don't have any idea if it's just
or is it made up?
Some type of shrub, and it's a whatever. But when you cut it and do this, then it's mistletoe. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know where to look, but that for
Surely
me,
it's on Amazon.
for me, because it was so easy. It's like comes out of the box and it had a little thumbtack, and you just stick it right up in the little door threshold of the door.
Yep.
And that was the beginning of Christmas decorations. So I was like, yeah, kicking it off. Have you carried that tradition to now? Do you do that? The candles?
No, I don't have.
Yeah, and I don't do the mistletoe. So it's like one of those things that kind of just over the
No,
years
but
got
I
lost.
kind of would like the candles because that would be something that I would do because you probably wouldn't be able to see it from the road, but it would be nice as you're driving up and go, oh, yeah, look at that.
Be kind of cool. I know your parents still have them? You think?
They do, and my mom still puts them out.
She does?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, at least you know
Now,
where to get some.
One of us, myself or one of my brothers, has to get all the Christmas decorations down out of the attic.
From the attic, okay.
Because
Which is good. That's safe.
my dad can't.
Right.
Absolutely cannot. And my mom doesn't need to.
Mm.
But she would still try and probably fall or break something and then call me and say, well, I was going to call you, but I didn't want to bother you.
Yeah. We
But I don't mind. I have to go right by there.
Yeah. We didn't have an attic, so our stuff was always reachable. Grandparents kept it in the attic, and I'm pretty sure.
Wait a minute. At the house on Stinson?
Yeah, that had an attic, but it had a staircase going up to it.
Yeah.
But that's different. You're talking about like attic steps, like pull from the
Oh,
ceiling.
yeah, I'm talking about attic steps.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. To me, that's
so
different.
you had an attic.
We had an attic.
You had an
but,
upstairs,
Yeah.
but like it wasn't finished or anything like that.
Right.
Because I was like, this is a gigantic room that you could
And-
do something with. But
Well, it had finished floors.
right.
And I think eventually we put up, I think, some walls because I feel like before we left there, my brother and I both had space up there.
And we used to work out in the basement.
Yeah, in between rain. But like my grandparents that I've said before, I spent a lot of time with, had a true attic, and
the pull down.
I'm pretty sure a certain grandfather of mine had 2 broken legs because of getting stuff out of the attic for Christmas. Now, I will also say there was probably beer involved in both of those incidents.
Could have been.
So, shame on him.
I know Lawrence.
But yeah, I think I'm glad now. Like our stuff is not in an attic or anything like that. This year it was in the garage, so it was easy to get out.
Yeah.
And
We have a craft room upstairs. So
easy to get to. Though.
Paige does sewing or whatever,
Yeah.
and I built some permanent shelves and made them specifically to fit the tubs of Christmas stuff.
Nice.
So now it's still not fun. I still have to go up steps and then down steps with a heavy
But true
Christmas
steps,
tree. But actual steps,
not
not
a ladder.
not one of these fold out rinky dink
'Cause
like
those are shady, man.
is it gonna hold?
And our house in South Carolina, that's exactly what that was. It was the old wooden.
It was in the
folding up
garage, right?
thing. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
That
My
was
parents
some
is just
shady
right in the hallway, like right in the middle of the hallway. So if somebody's upstairs,
Yeah.
you can't. It's real hard to get anywhere.
Yeah. I don't have that now. Now my attic access is in the linen closet So I have to take.
Is it one of those little squares?
Yeah, it's like a piece of drywall that just sits in the hole,
Okay.
and then you just lift it up, and I can put my head up there. I've had home inspectors, I've had cable people that are all too big. They just get their head up. Man, I can't go up there. It's like, but like, yeah, I have to get a ladder, and then I've got to do this ninja stuff to get up through there and take out shelves and stuff. So there's nothing in our attic. It's
See, now we have those here.
Yeah.
There's one in one of my kids' closets, and then one in the craft room to access.
Yeah. I mean, there's
that
no
point.
Yeah.
There's no reason to go up there. There's insulation and wiring and
Right.
some HVAC ductwork.
If we were to ever want to do that, I mean, there's headroom to stand.
I can stand
but
in mine,
there's nothing finished. Like I'd have to put down some floor to even store stuff up there, because we've thought about, should we put an access like in the hallway to store stuff? It's like, why? I mean, there's 2 of us in the house now, and it's like we got a garage, so no more. Well, it's cool. I have,
Tell us about this.
I was just gonna say, I have a memory that's associated with the action figures here. So I was going through, speaking of my garage, I've been doing some organizing and downsizing of stuff lately.
Look at you.
Came across this wonderful cookie tin,
right?
Straight from probably the early 80s, which is, it's interesting because I'm still a fan of these butter cookies today. And
oh my gosh, they're so good.
I'm thinking like, I think I've always liked those. But so I see this tin can in one of the boxes, and I open it up, and to my surprise, it was full of like these Star Wars action figures. So there's a ton more in here. But man, you talking about as a kid, I mean, getting these throughout my childhood every year was awesome. And so like I've got those out, and the reason is I have a very specific memory with this guy right here. So this is the Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker, and this guy is the killer of my Santa Claus faith, because coming back home from our grandparents, probably 83, 84, we had this big blue leisure van all decked out with that shag carpet and those what seemed like velvet seats. And it had the bench in the very back that would make a bed.
Right.
Yeah, so full on just
conversion van.
Yeah, it was awesome. So we're riding back home. We're leaving from my grandparents. I run to the back bench seat, buckle in. As we're driving, I just kind of stretch, and I look back behind me into the little cargo area, and what do I see? But Luke Skywalker in the package, sitting on top of some other stuff. I think there was like a Dukes of Hazzard car in there and stuff like that. And I was like,
Kenny present?
Mom, what's this? There's an action figure in the back. And, I got the whole turn around and, sit down and quit looking back there. It's nothing. None of your business. None of your, And then the next morning.
Typical Debbie response.
Guess what I got for Christmas from Santa Claus?
Look at that.
So I knew at that point, I'm like, wait a minute. I thought he came after we went to bed. And so I started doing all the reasoning, and I did determine, and eventually I think went to my parents and said, y'all are Santa Claus, aren't you? You buy all this stuff. I had I've heard people at school have said it, that it's our parents that do it, but now I know. And I think my dad, I got the whole, don't tell your brothers and sisters, now you're a man. kind of
right.
thing.
That's kind of one of those things. I'm waiting at some point, that will happen to my kids.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm going to be like, I saw this somewhere. Somebody said, okay, so now you're in on it.
Mm-hmm.
So now you are Santa with us, so we don't ruin it. The magic.
You're the keeper
for the little kids.
It's probably the first dream we all have that's crushed, right? There's no secret person visiting us late at night, dropping off toys.
I always wondered how he got into our house because we didn't have
we didn't either.
We didn't have a chimney, but my mom, the elementary school librarian, came up with a solution for that. She hung this huge skeleton key on our front door handle, and it said Santa's key.
Yeah.
And I was like, that doesn't fit in the lock. He was like, oh, it's magic.
It shrinks and fits right in there. That's
Santa, all he has to do is take
It's
this key and he gets. And so I was like, all right.
yeah, it's good. It works. It shows up. But
So
no, this is good. And now, it's like taking bids. So I don't know what to do with these anymore. It's like
I
They're-
bet somebody wants those.
I probably,
Somebody's
I need
missing
to-
one of those.
Well, and they're all open and well played. And if if you've ever seen the movie Toy Story, it is true. We marked our toys. Every single one of these has a little red, probably either model paint or fingernail polish on the bottom.
So you could
to
tell yours from somebody else's.
signify that these belong to Chris. Yeah, because I had a brother.
Right.
He wasn't as into his action figures were different, but
He was G.I. Joe, right?
He was
He-Man?
more like He-Man. He was more the 6-inch
Oh, yeah.
kind of bigger action figures, the wrestlers and things like that. I was more the G.I. Joe and Star Wars. This is obviously my Star Wars container. My G.I. Joe container. Yeah, I had separate ones.
Well, I'm saying, no, I'm asking what happened to it.
G.I. Joe. I have it. I don't know what bin it's in, but it is it was an actual carrying case. And you open it
fancy.
up, and it had little plastic trays with slots for each one of the people to sit in. So it was.
Were the slots designated who was supposed to go in there, or they were just generic slots?
No, they were generic
Okay.
slots. So, but I had my little case. I could show up with my people in gear and play it out. But yeah, so that was a really cool little memory to find and bring them up. But yeah, I have a lot more than what I even remember having. I see some of the.
Well, I mean, when you opened that thing and showed me, it was barely
it was-
fit in there.
It was full, and it was like. Then I start remembering. I'm like the Emperor. This was a mail order only action figure, and I forget what you had to do to get it, but it was, I think it was collect so many.
Did you have to cut something off other action figures?
I think you had to.
bought
Yeah,
enough?
I think that's what it is. You had to, cut out the label or the barcode. Have 5 of those, and then send $4.95 for shipping, and you could get that one in the mail. I think there were a couple like that.
Look at
That was
that.
my memory of that. But yeah, it's that was a really good Christmas memory that I had, and I opened those up, and I was like, "This is awesome." And most of them are still in pretty good shape. Darth Vader's missing an arm. There's a couple of people in there that I don't think were in Star Wars. I think there's a Star Trek action figure in there, but they look
I
different.
mean, they were playing amongst the
They're all in
stars.
space.
Right.
It's all good. But
Right.
what else you got? What other memories or
All right,
traditions you
so
recall?
couple other things that we used to do decoration wise. I made this. It was like a piece of, I don't know, plank driftwood kind of looking stuff, flat. I think it was maybe like a 1x4 or something
Yeah.
that we had. And in 5th grade, we made these little things and this little ribbon over it so it would hang above a door or something like that. And my parents always used to hang it above the doorway to the hall, in between the kitchen, in between the dining room and the hallway,
On the little lip above the door?
on the the molding.
Yeah,
around
okay.
right above that.
They were ahead of their time, because now you go into every tourist shop or gift shop, and they, there's those, 1x4s, and somebody's got something engraved on it and
Right.
colored.
And, I just had, somebody had cut out, and I was thinking about it as I was putting it up this year, because I still have it
Okay, nice.
from 5th grade.
Nice.
And it just says Merry Christmas, and it has some, I don't know, it's not mistletoe, but some type of holly,
yeah.
or something on it. And I just, there were letters that were made out of red and green fabric that we just picked up what we wanted and we glued it on there. We spent part of the day making that. And I wonder how many of my 5th grade classmates still have theirs. That would be...
Some
but-
of that stuff we make in school lasted a long time.
And I still have it. I hang it on my china cabinet doors.
That's cool.
So
I
it just
don't
says
know.
Merry Christmas.
I don't know if I had anything that was that sturdy.
I have some ornaments that I made from
Yeah.
when I was little, and some that my parents bought with my name on it or
Yeah.
whatever that they've since given me, much like you did
Yeah.
to your kids. But and then the other thing that I always loved, I guess it's, I don't know if you'd call it an advent calendar, but it was this calendar where it had 25 doors on it to open.
Yeah, it sounds like an advent calendar.
Right, but it didn't have, I had never heard it called that until I was much older. All I knew was that it was a calendar, and it had like this scene. I can't even exactly remember what the scene was, but every day you would open, if it was December 3rd, you open that door, and it had some picture of something Christmassy, and then on 25, it was Jesus in the manger.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember, that was always so cool because they would hang it in that. So in my parents' den where the TV was, there was that window that wasn't a window. It was just a cutout. I think that used to be the back door and a window because that back hallway and that back bedroom were added by the people that lived there before we did. But we would hang it in that fake window. There was a hook screwed in that different times of the year we would have different things hanging from there. And we would hang it from there, and then it's the 10th.
That's cool.
And so we'd open up that, and so that was always a cool thing. I wonder if my mom still has that, because if she does,
Oh, there you go. I've seen the ones with pictures. Over the years, we've done. There's some with chocolates, little candies.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
I've done empty ones where there's like a little box and
put your own stuff in there.
Yeah. Like
nice.
Something for each day. Like I did one year.
Like an Oreo.
I'd be like, today's my day. Nobody else going there. I did like little wrapped chocolates and candy and stuff like that. Little just miniature, I've done like a little miniature manger, like a little a manger scene made out of rice. And someone painted.
Oh wow!
Rice. Is rice kernels? Is that what they're called? They're not called rice.
Grains.
Grains. Yeah, rice grains. Somebody kernels.
If you put it in the microwave,
rice
it pops.
grains. Somebody like painted like a little Joseph, a little Mary, a little Jesus, and the three little rice.
Like just one rice grain?
No, like one for each. So like one rice grain.
So everything's like this tall?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was standing up on like this little shaving of wood, and it's like,
oh wow,
it's like the Holy Family, like made out of rice. And so just little unique stuff like that just kind of fun things,
right?
And stuff,
okay,
but it was cool. What about like I have one tradition that we do that's more like couple related. And I know you talked about the houses that we set up. That kind of became a tradition for us as adults that we started. But I do have one that is probably my favorite because it's gone on for as long as we've been, dating and married. And
I think I know what it is.
And that's the reindeer.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So like Katie now has, I think we're at like 30.
Reindeer.
32 reindeer. They're not all stuffed because it got to a point at one point it's like, can we do something smaller, maybe like a ceramic art or something? So there have been a couple, but over the 30 now 2 years this Christmas that we've been together, it started the very first year we were dating, and Christmas came up, and I was trying to get her a different gift that got delayed. And so I was going to her house with no Christmas gift.
Oh, that's bad.
And I stopped in Donaldson, right there at Donaldson Pike and Lebanon Road. There used to be a place that sold telephone cords and stuffed animals.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? It was like a weird mix.
It was big. It was like a long stone building.
Yeah. And I saw these stuffed animals in the front window, and I was like, all right, let me just see if I can stop and get something so I'm not going to my, new girlfriend's house for the first big holiday. And they had this It was a stuffed reindeer. And so I was like, perfect, I get it. She loved it. And then, the next Christmas, I find out like 2 days before, it's like, oh, that was a really cool tradition you started last year. And I was like, yes, it was.
I need to do that again.
I need to step out for a little bit. And I tell you,
I'll be right back.
The year 2 is like this hideous kind of plastic, not cuddly at all. Because the first one was like very plush, high-end stuffed animal.
Yeah.
And it was great. And she loved it. And then year 2, I show up with this plastic thing that's got bells on the ears. And it's like, jing-a-ling-a-ling, I'm here. It's to this day, when you're looking at all of them, because we put them around the Christmas tree now, and there's just a ton of them. And
it's like, which one of these things does not belong?
But now you can go through and you can look at them and you can tell the years, especially early on, that maybe we didn't have a lot of money that year. Maybe we had just gone through something that, where there were a couple of times where we had just moved and, maybe there wasn't a lot of time. This is like pre-internet too, right? So like anything I got, I had to go out and get it, right? So early on, they have, a lot of them have stories of like, yeah, I was here and I had to ask somebody if I could borrow their car, and in order to borrow their car, I had to do a favor for them and do. So I mean, some of them have some really cool stories, but then she started kind of naming them and putting dates on them, and then it just grew into this thing. And now, now we have the power of the internet, so I can do like these searches and find like handmade, custom, hand knitted stuff, and it's really cool. But it's something our kids grew up seeing. I tell the story to people, and it's. Now a few decades later, it's like we've got all these, and every year she's like, I really love it. Could we maybe we should do like a deer ornament or something? And I'm like, all right. And then I go out
and then you
get
don't.
Another one. Yeah. So
at
some point,
I'm glad that I didn't say anything about that, because in the intro, I was actually going to ask you about the reindeer, and I'm glad I didn't because I wanted you to have that.
As by far my favorite. Yeah. Adult, like, and not only because it's something that it brings me joy in doing, and the search now starts in like October. Like I'm like, man, I want something unique, I want something different that's got a story. And yeah, because it just straight out retail, they start to repeat, and you see similarities, right? But it was cool because now the kids get excited. They know about the time of year that the decorations come out. They're like, hey, have you gotten it yet? What does it look like? They all want sneak peeks and things. So it's really cool.
That's cool.
How the whole family's kind of, invested in that now. But yeah, and so that's one that's totally like ours as a family. And it's really cool. So you never know where traditions are going to come from.
Right. One tradition that we had growing up that we got from my mom's family, we do not carry that on in our own family. Mm-hmm. We do something a little different, but we used to have what we call dollar presents.
Nice. So
they would take us and give us $5 because tax. But I'd have to get my mom, my dad, my brother, and I guess eventually my other brother once he was around, a present that was $1 or less ish. Sometimes you'd stretch it a little bit.
Yeah.
I do remember one time I got my mom this little set of 4 glasses, like drinking glasses, because I think we had broken some.
Yeah.
And it was, I just remember things, okay? Just don't come at me. I just remember things. I remember the final cost with tax was $3.44. And so when I gave my mom, we would always give each other our dollar presents, and she goes, I'm sure that this was more than $1. And eventually I told her, and she was like, oh, that was way too much to spend. I'm like, but we needed the glasses. So.
I should have given everybody one glass.
Like, that's what
one for you, one for you.
Because I think at the time there were still just 4 of us, so I probably should have just gotten it and been like,
done.
One and done. But, I guess I don't know what I was trying to do. But anyway, dollar presents. My mom grew up, they did 25-cent present, quarter
Mhm.
presents.
You got to
'Cause,
adjust for inflation.
Right, right. in the 60s,
Now it's like $20 presents.
Right.
It's the same thing.
right. Same stuff. But so, and we would do that on Christmas Eve.
Nice.
Now, what my family has done is we have made an arrangement with Santa that we've told our children. We've made an arrangement with Santa. Santa handles the gifts. We handle the stockings. So what we do is, instead of dollar presents or anything like that, we do our stockings on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
Nice.
now we're starting to involve the kids. They're big enough now where it's like, hey, what do you want to get for mom? What do you want to put in here?
It
So-
gets fun for a few years, but, because you
Right.
do. You get a little help on things.
right.
And
So-
then you could be like, I don't know if she'd like that. It's like- you got to learn how to coach, too.
Right. I
It's like,
don't know.
What about this?
Oh, look at these. I heard her talking about these. Oh, really? Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I think the most dangerous thing, especially a mom can do, is say that you like something. Because if you do, you're going to get some version of that for the next 19 holidays. So if you say something like, I like the color green, everything you get is going to be green, or it's going to smell like lavender, or it's going to be in the shape of a turtle. Those are just all things from personal experience. And it's like, you got to be careful.
Right. I can say that doesn't necessarily work for dads,
No.
because there's one thing in particular that probably for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I was like, I'll be looking at them when we
Yeah.
go to a store that has it. And I'll say, man, I'd really like some of these
Look at that.
sometimes.
Isn't that
just 'cause-
awesome?
And here we are, lo these many years later. And I mean, they're not cheap. They're not like crazy expensive, but
I've gotten gifts before where it's like, oh, I remember you said you liked this. I'm like,
when?
did? All right. Yeah. When was that? Was that me? I don't know.
No say.
Oh, that's cool. I know
Where we
we're getting close on time.
Oh yeah.
Right. Real quick,
Okay.
and you don't have to answer this. Maybe you don't have one.
Hold on before.
All right.
So if you have any cool traditions, something that you
yes.
want to, maybe you remember around that time, or you did some version of something that we did, let us know.
Yeah.
Occasionally people will let us know stuff. Not very often. I love some more.
It's a two-way street. We need to talk to other people other than ourselves
That is true.
sometimes. But no, that is true. I'd love to hear that, because I know I mean in our followers, I know there's people with different parts of the country, different traditions, different parts of the world, even, because we've got a couple of overseas people, and that would be interesting.
What
to
do you
hear.
do over there?
How different is it? Y'all have July 4th too?
They do, but not like we do.
But no, real quick. Worst gift you've ever gotten in your life?
Worst
Is there something
gift.
that stands out? Because I've got a very specific. It's funny, and it was kind of in error, but it was by far, like, as the 8 or 9 year old that got it, it was like,
I actually cannot think of a worst gift. I think because, we talked about before, we didn't grow up with a whole lot. So
yeah.
anything that we got was something new. I do
And
remember.
you had to appreciate it and say thank you.
You had to appreciate
And
it.
have a
say thank
smile
you.
on your face.
I do remember I got a stereo system one year,
Yeah.
where it's like everything was one piece, but it looked like separate components.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before because I put a picture of it, my York's
Yeah.
stereo system. I remember the one that I circled in the Sears catalog. Yeah. Was a Sony
Yeah.
stereo.
And that label was missing on yours.
And I may or may not have gone on a hunt for Christmas presents one year
Mm-hmm.
and found a big box in the closet, but it was so buried deep, and it was dark back there, And all I could make out is that it was 4 letters. And I could make out that the second letter was O.
Oh.
So I'm thinking, Sony. Nope. Yorks. YORX. And the X looks a lot like a Y in dark light. So
depending on which part of that you scratched and opened, I mean, you had a 50%
right, 'cause you kinda,
chance of thinking that was going to be a Sony.
You don't want to tear it too much, but so it wasn't worst. I mean, I used that thing forever. Like, I still had it. I think I finally ended up tossing it when we moved into this house.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, I had it from probably 86, 87, something like that, all the way up until...
Nice. So good quality.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah.
It did fine.
We were never big on trying to hunt down the gifts until they were out Christmas Eve. Then we would try to sneak in, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and be like, peek around.
We tried to hide behind the couch and catch Santa.
Dude, my kids were terrible to the point where a couple years we had to wrap gifts and then just put a number on them. And then I had a scroll that had the code.
As to who was what number?
As to who was what number. And it was like the most frustrating year for our kids because they were like, they would find them. And then it was like, I've got box number 2. And they'd shake it, whatever.
But I
don't know who it belongs to.
Right.
But the scroll was cool because I did it on like.
Did you come out like all?
I absolutely did.
Like,
no, here's what I did.
Hear ye.
I said that. I went as far. I got some like yellow copy paper.
Yeah.
And then we filled it in, and then I burned the edges. Like I did the whole thing. It was like, here we go.
Oh.
No, I had fun with it.
That's doing the most.
But
what's your worst gift?
Worst gift I ever got that was totally useless to me, and God bless her, it was a mistake. And my granny Margaret, who is my dad's mom, handed me my Christmas gift one year, and she had lots of grandkids, and there were somewhere along the way things got mixed up, but I opened up my gift and it was a baton. Remember those?
Oh,
and the look on my face is like, the hell am I supposed? All right, now you can bleep. Yeah. What the hell am I supposed to do with this, Granny?
I might not bleep that one,
and
might just let it.
It
roll.
was just like. I was like, I think my mom or one of them was like, throw it up in the air and catch it. I was like, no, like a cheerleader? I was like, I don't understand that. But I will tell you, the person who got probably even a worse gift was my cousin, who actually received my gift because that was hers. She received my 3-pack of Fruit of the Loom Whitey Tidy underwear. So...
Please tell me that was Jenny.
No, it wasn't Jenny.
Okay.
But the thing is we weren't there at the same time, right? So like I had her gift and had to take it home.
Oh.
And she had my gift that she didn't open until she got home. And so I never got those underwear.
I wonder why they didn't switch it. Like,
how do you mix those two things up?
I don't know,
is
man.
what my question was. But
I don't know.
That was the worst gift I've ever gotten because I didn't know what to do with it.
I could see that.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna wrap this up with a little question for the book.
Yes.
All right, you're grabbing the book, so it means I have to have a question.
That means you got to have a question.
Wow. Let's see. How about?
I can see something brewing in there.
Yeah, it's man, I don't know how to really phrase it though. I'm trying to think.
Is this something I'm gonna have to bleep?
No. only one of those per every other episode or two.
Right.
Let's see.
We'll just say it and we'll figure it out.
How do people really feel about Christmas gifts? How do people really feel about it? It's gift giving. It's supposed to have joy. It's supposed
adults?
To,
because we know kids like them.
Yeah, adults. How do adults really feel about what does the book have to say about that?
Christmas gifts from other adults?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
How do adults feel about Christmas gifts from other adults. Let's go right here.
I mean, we know how Chris feels because he said it.
Take a chance.
That's perfect. That's literally what it is.
Take a chance.
You buy me a gift, you're taking a chance that you are going to get it back next year.
Speaking of Chance, he's one of our subscribers, right?
I believe I know he's a watcher and a viewer, but I believe so, yeah.
If you haven't subscribed, Chance,
He's
subscribe.
being called out, too.
Subscribe.
If we ever have a business meeting, he definitely would love to be a part of it. I don't think we'll take any.
I remember when I came over your house last year after Thanksgiving.
He was like ready to talk too.
He was there and he was like,
Chance is my son-in-law, for those of you that don't know. So there's your full call out, Chance. You made the show. Congratulations. Yep. But you have no stock in the company yet. So sorry about that, dude. Donuts are doing fine, as always.
We got some new ones of these. I think we only get them around this time of year.
Oh, like the household here?
No, at school.
Oh, okay.
Because these came from school.
Okay.
So we got some new ones of these at school.
I didn't realize those were a holiday food.
Oh.
But man, that's a merry good time right there.
Yep. All right.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Hope you all had have a wonderful one. I know this one's coming out just before, but
right. Hope you get some time off and get to spend some time with family, maybe some people that you don't see. Do something fun. You never know if that group is going to look the same next year, because
absolutely
things happen, and so just don't take it for granted. This is my PSA, my soapbox. Don't take it for granted, because again, you never know. You want to just soak it all in. Kids are going to be crazy. People are going to get on your nerves, but in the end, that's not really what it's for.
Nope. And just remember, maybe you'll get a baton.
There you have it. Good sign off. All right.
All right.
Thanks for coming. Merry Christmas, y'all.
Merry Christmas.